So here we have staghorn sumacs, these things here. And then here we have ginkgo biloba, which is a tree, ancient tree apparently, species from China area. It's kind of a cool tree, I guess. Apparently they can live very long lifetimes. Some in China, I guess, are 1,500 years old or so. Anyway, it's kind of cool to have long living trees. And there's some herbal use to them too, I guess. You can actually buy ginkgo biloba extract, which is supposed to be good for brain health and memory, so they say. So I've actually I have been taking some, although I haven't noticed any notable changes, but all right. Okay, so here we have Katsura tree. This is his, well, we planted him last summer sometime, so he's been outside for about a year, but he's grown pretty good. There actually was two of them, but one didn't even make it through the winter, I guess, and then this guy's going full tilt. Okay, so here is northern catalpa, just a little baby. He actually was about the same size last year, and in the fall the dogs come running through to get to the pond and ran right over him and snapped him off. So now I've got a bit of a tomato cage there, give a bit of barrier for the dogs, but anyway, he survived. And then over here we have, it's called an empress tree. There's an official name for it, but I can't remember what it's called. Royal Empress. Anyway, apparently the world's fastest growing tree, and has hardly done anything this year. But he's still alive, so let's see what he does next year. Maybe he needs some fertilizer or something. Okay, so here's some of the pawpaws. It's end of the season, so their leaves are not looking so good, but they survived the summer just fine. So we just put them in the spring, and we'll see how they do. Hopefully survive the winter. I mean, they're rated for this area, so they should do fine, but dog's got the zoomies. That's kiwi. So here we have another northern catalpa, and he's doing quite well. Ironically, so we got 4 northern catalpas here on the property that we've planted, and the one that's in the woods, in a shaded type of, right in the woods, he's doing the best. And this he's doing okay, but the one in the woods is probably at least 2 feet taller than this, and both planted at the same time. Dogs love their pond. Okay, so here we have another tulip tree. He's doing great. I think he probably loves having the wet feet, maybe. They have upside down, but you can see how the leaf kind of looks like a tulip. And yeah, beautiful tree. So here we've got a butternut tree, and man, does this thing grow fast, or at least it has this year. Yeah, the growth is about I would say 4 feet anyway this year. Just exploded. So it'll be fun to taste some butternuts here in about 8 years. Okay, so here we are at one of our other ponds. Although this thing's dried out quite substantially there now. So we got some rhubarb we've planted. And then this here stands about 5 feet tall. called an American sycamore. And he's doing fantastic as well. Probably put maybe 3 foot of growth, 3 feet of growth on this year. Pretty happy with that. Just down the trail, tulip tree. He's doing quite well as well. Although in the winter, something, I think it was a shrew, chopped this thing down to nothing but a stick. Not a limb left on him. And yeah, you can see like the dark trunk. Let's see if we can get it. That's all that was left. There wasn't a limb or nothing. Something chewed them all up. But he came back vigorously. Alright, let's go down the trail some more, see some more stuff. Okay, so this is what's called a bur oak. Say it's fall here now, but he did pretty good. Same thing. You can kind of see something chewed him right to bits here, cut the tops off it over the winter time. And anyway, he came back with a vengeance. So these are native oak trees to New Brunswick, and they're the largest. They produce the largest acorns of all the oak species. And from what I've seen online, they're larger than a golf ball kind of thing. So pretty impressive oak. Pretty much, apparently there's only 5 old growth bur oaks left in the province. And so there's kind of a movement to try and get these planted out in the woods and get them revived. So we've actually got 2 on the property we've planted. So hopefully the other one's just down there. Hopefully they can, I don't know if they have to cross-pollinate or whatever, but in the future maybe they'll be able to have some babies. Keep the cycle going. All right, let's go check out some Kentucky coffees. Okay, I wanted to show you guys this. Not that I know what it really is, but we find quite a bit of these stone piles, markers. I'm not sure what you call them, but there's one there. One here. One here. And another one up there. And in fact, there is a multitude on this property of these stone piles. And actually one of them is right at the corner of the property. So they were used for some kind of markers at one point. But yeah, so this here is black walnut. Just planted a couple weeks ago, and he's since shedded his leaves. But he's got little buds there, so we've planted 3 black walnuts on the property this fall. Cool to see them come back in the spring. All right, on to the next tree. Okay, bit of a hike around the place here. It's 25 acres, so it's a bit of hiking to get to all these different trails. Okay, we have mulberry. I believe it's red mulberry. So I've got one here. And we've got another one right here. So, kind of cool. I've never tasted one, but I guess they're pretty good. And apparently they can make quite a mess with all the juices from the berries, because apparently they're like a raspberry. They grow on a tree, and they produce all summer long berries. But you can get quite a bit of stuff on the ground here that can stain your clothes and whatnot, so kind of messy. So we've got them out towards the back part of the property. Okay, so this is another black walnut tree we just planted this fall, and we're thinking, see, you can see how the hills, it kind of goes up here. We're in a valley. We're going to probably plant the giant sequoias down in there. We'll have to thin out a spot and plant the giant sequoias out here. More piles of rock. Actually quite a few out here. Another pile here. Yeah, somewhere in here, probably where the giant sequoias are going. Another pile of rock here. More stone. It looks stacked to me. More stone here too. So this is the St. John region of New Brunswick, and St. John was first settled in the 1600s. I want to say 1670, I think. So there've been people out working on this land, well, even before then, obviously, too. So I don't know if this is who did the work exactly and when, but someone was doing something. Not really sure what. Okay, so here's another tree planted. This is European beech. Just down the trail a little ways, we've also planted copper beech. So the beech trees are pretty cool, long-lived, and they have the real smooth bark on them. They kind of look like a muscly tree. Yeah, so yeah, we're excited to see that. Okay, so we're getting the section we call the backwoods. And this is northern catalpa. And, well, you can't tell now because it's end of season, but this tree had a fantastic year. He pretty much started right from there and grew right up. So that's, I don't know, he was 3 feet of growth there anyways. It's quite a happy looking tree during summer. So it's cool to see them grow. Alright, so now we're finally heading towards the coffee trees. Beautiful section of woods here. It's funny to watch the dogs. They're always looking for squirrels. They're always looking up in the trees for things. So here's a section of spruce trees that we have. And pretty good sized trees. I don't know if the size conveys well on the cell phone or not, but okay, finally we've made it. to the Kentucky coffee tree. They're a bit of a slow starter. This spring it didn't look like it was going to do much of anything, and then about 2 weeks behind everything else, it put all its leaves out and off she went. So we've got 2 of those here. We always like having multiple of the same variety because we want the stuff to reproduce. You know, it's in a forested setting, and the idea is these things can keep growing and keep the life cycle going long after we're gone. So, all right, off to probably check out a hackberry. Okay, so this is what I believe is a hackberry. Losing a lot of its leaves, I guess. It's getting towards fall. And something has been cutting at the branches here. But I guess it's tall enough now we can get away from whatever's chewing at it. It could be rabbits, hard to say. There's all kinds of critters out in these woods. And in fact, we actually found bear poop out in the woods. So we've been planning to get some bear spray, but have yet to actually make the purchase. But it seems like it's probably a good idea to have on hand in case bear comes a knocking. Okay, well, I think that's probably the end of the update. Always lots of projects going on around here, and I'll do another update maybe with the giant sequoias. Once they're planted, I can kind of show off where they're living. So this normally is full of water, but it's just mud flat now, I guess. Been a dry fall, actually, surprisingly. Okay, hope you guys are having a good day. Talk to you next time.